Well, hello and welcome to our Post Planner webinar series. So appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today. Hopefully you've already gone through our webinar on how to find content. So how to use this find feature that you're looking at right here within Post Planner to go through all of our popular content, pull from our status ideas, and then create your own resource with the My Content section. And today we're going to add on to that. So first of all, my name is Rebecca Radice, and I am the Chief Marketing Officer with Post Planner. And like I said, just thrilled to be here with you, kind of walking you through the many features of Post Planner and helping you get up and running as quickly as possible and help you take advantage of all that it has to offer to take some of those chores that go along with social media off your shoulders on a day-to-day basis. And today we're going to talk about the plan feature and the plan section within Post Planner and how that goes hand in hand with Find. And then we'll wrap up the series with the Post section. So you'll want to make sure and sign up for that one as well. So here's the deal. Most marketers that we interact with, business owners, entrepreneurs, no matter what size of your business or what size your business is, you're probably spending way too much time on social media. You find, that you're bouncing from one place to the next, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Pinterest, whether it's Twitter. We all have social ADD these days where it's bing, 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 bing. The next shiny object has our attention. And the unfortunate part is that most of the time we are bouncing from one place to the next without any real goals. Our days are sucked up into that sea of liking and commenting and sharing and retweeting and double tapping and pinning and posting and planning, everything. All of that craziness. It makes me tired just to think about. That goes along with creating a presence for your business on social media. And I know it can start to feel like really a never-ending cycle of logging in, grabbing content, posting, and going out to all of these various places that you're trying to find content or trying to consolidate content into tools like Feedly. And while there's nothing wrong with those, I love Feedly, I love Pocket, there's so many great tools. The problem with that is that you have no system in place and no system that has automation behind it that's going to help you get from this crazy place of spinning where you're at right now to somewhere where you can juggle it all, where you're actually focused on achieving those goals that are really going to help your business grow. And so that is exactly what we're here for. We're here to help you simplify social media, but way more than that, just blow the roof off of your results. So Post Planner, if you're not familiar, is built exactly for that. It's built to give you results within the engagement you get off of your content. And founder Josh Parkinson basically scratched his own itch. Years ago when he was thinking about Post Planner, he said, wow, keeping up with social media is hard. It's also really difficult to know what type of content I should share. And so that's where our algorithm comes in, and that predictability based off of our 5-star rating system and knowing exactly what type of content you should share. So you're not wasting your time. You're not just bouncing around, hoping that you're going to throw some content out there that's going to stick in the mind of your audience. I think we all know that today it takes a whole lot more to get noticed, to really be seen within the newsfeed or on Twitter than just scheduling out a whole bunch of content, running away, and hoping that automation will solve all your problems. We know it just doesn't work, right? Now you have to be very intentional, very thoughtful in the type of content that you're sharing. You also need to plan what type of content you're going to share. We talked a little bit about this in that first webinar where it's that perfect content mix. And Josh shares the analogy, it's his fishing analogy, about your chum and your baited hooks. And it's just the idea of creating really great content that resonates with your audience, that really gets those waters going, gets people excited, it's activating them, it's getting them interactive with your content, and then sharing the other type of content, which are your blog posts, your videos, all of that content that you're creating within your business that you want people to take action on. And it's finding that perfect mix of content so that people, every time they come back, they're seeing something new, something a little bit different, but you're also giving them choice in the type of content they interact with. And you're leveraging really popular content so that you have that idea of how it's going to perform. And you're also connecting with some top performing pages, some top performing maybe marketers or somebody within your niche. So it's easy to see why we all feel overwhelmed, why Josh felt overwhelmed, why he created Post Planner. And now let's take a look at how you can use that plan section so that you take all of that content, you're dropping in there, and you send it out at the exact right time. So first of all, I'm going to just click on plan on the left-hand side, and here what you're going to see is any profile that you are authorized. So maybe you're the admin, maybe you're the owner, maybe it's your Twitter account, whatever the case might be, anything you've authorized, you've got available to you right here within the plan section. So up at the top here, again, it's going to show you all of those profiles. And what you want to do, best practices within Post Planner, is to create a unique default plan or your posting times for that particular profile. So first and foremost, what you want to do is you want to go to your Facebook page. You want to take a look at your Facebook Insights, or you want to go to Twitter and look at your Twitter analytics. And what you're looking for is how your audience is interacting with you. How are they responding to the content that you're sharing now? Can you see a pattern? Do they like images more than they like link-based posts? Or is it the other way around? Or do they like text-based posts? Or are they really loving all of the videos that you're creating? So start to take a look at that. Then look at the time that they are interacting with your content. So do you have an international audience? Is it 24/7? Are you local? And the times when you're getting the most engagement are maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening within your local area. So you really want to know and understand how your audience is interacting with you and at what times they're interacting with you. Now you'll also be able to gauge their hunger or their appetite for your content. So depending on how long your page has been around, you're going to have some pretty good data there to see, hey, I'm posting 3 times a day. It's getting great traction. Maybe I want to move that up to 4 or 5 times per day. And I would highly recommend that you're posting on Facebook at least 3 times a day, upwards to 5. And then on Twitter, the sweet spot, and of course it depends on your industry or niche and how much content is really out there for that particular niche. But Twitter, somewhere between 8 and 11 posts per day. And that's going to vary too if you have a lot of events going on. For us, it's webinars, we're launching new ebooks or infographics. So that can really vary dependent on, as I said, your business and then also your need in how much content you need to get out there. And if you're spending time on Twitter, you probably already know this, but you can definitely share a whole lot more on Twitter. You just have to keep it lively, entertaining, informative, and make sure that it's well aligned with your business or brand so that all of this content is serving a purpose and making certain that you're telling your story, that you're getting your point across, that you're letting people get to know you a little bit better. So let's take a look at how this works. So first of all, when you first come into Post Planner, you're going to have a default plan that we've already created for you. And if you wanted to, you could just leave it. But as I said, best practice is to first take a look at your own analytics and insights. As you can imagine, every page, every profile is a little bit different. So following our exact times or our exact strategy isn't necessarily going to work for your page. What I can do is I can tell you exactly what's worked for us. And if you implement it with your own times, it's going to work for you too. So what you see here is a posting default plan that I've edited and created for my Twitter profile. And you see here that I've gone a little bit beyond. I play around with the times. I'm constantly analyzing how my content is performing. And I'm usually somewhere between 10 and 15 posts per day, and that doesn't include any of the interaction. And I've based all of these times off of my analytics and what are my best times to post, when are people interacting with my content the most. And up here, you have the opportunity to determine, do you want to create a posting time for every day out of the week, or do you want to create unique posting times for every single day? So for this one, I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the same times every single day. But if I wanted to change that up, I could click right here where it says never, and I've got a couple that have already been pre-created, and I could activate those, or I could just go right here and click add new, and I can start an all new plan. So if this is what you want to do, where you're going to edit that first default plan we give you, and then you want to add a new one, it's very, very simple to do whether you're editing or starting a new one. You just hover over this time here, you click on this pencil, and it's going to open up here where you can change up the times. So let's say I actually want to post at 3:32 a.m. Just use these arrows to adjust my time, click set. And then over here, as we talked about in the Find webinar, this is where the power of your plan really comes in, where you can allow specific types of content at a specific time. So rather than a scenario where you go in and you add 10 images and then 10 link-based posts, and all of those are in a block of 10 and 10, and then you've got to go in and you've got to drag and drop and move content around to get it into that perfect mix of content. If you use this right here to only share a particular type of content at that time, then the app does all of the heavy lifting for you. So let me explain. So you choose that at 3:32 you want content to go out. Well, at 3:32 we just want to choose one type of content that's going to go out at that particular time. So I'm going to start with photos, and there's a reason behind that. And I'm going to show you on the Post Planner Facebook exactly what this looks like. And let me tell you why we do what we do. So we go back and forth between photos and articles. Right now we're testing out and not posting any text-based posts, just these two, and we go back and forth between the two. And the reason is what I discussed in our Find webinar is that photos are your chum. They are those fun, just those engaging images or videos that really get audience interaction. They get people talking about it. They get people sharing, liking, commenting. They get them retweeting. And then you move into your articles, which is that baited content where you're putting it out there and you're hoping that they're going to take action on that content. And what's happening here is you're driving engagement with that interactive content, and you're pushing that content out into the news feed, and you're creating that momentum that's taking you into your articles. So what we would do is we'd start with just telling the app, I only want photos to go out at 3:32. So to do that, we just hover over articles, unclick it, hover over text, unclick it. And now that it's no longer green, you know that you're no longer going to send out articles or text. So you've deactivated those two at that time. Now to add additional times, you just click add a new time. You can change your time here, click add, and then you'll do the same thing. Now for this one, we would go like that. And we would choose link-based posts. So I would suggest that you do this and you go back and forth and begin to test. So you saw my Twitter default plan is a little bit different, a little bit more of a mishmash. And that's because I've been testing and testing and testing what kind of content, what type of content my audience likes, and specifically what type of content they like at a specific time. So for example, my audience tends to like images late in the evening, early morning hours, Pacific time, which is a time zone I'm in, as opposed to during the day. They get a lot more interaction during that time. So it could be that, people are off work, they're sitting on their mobile, and they're actually retweeting or sharing that type of content. So you're going to have to test this out, but I can tell you this is our proven strategy. Exactly what we do on our Facebook, and I'll show you, is going back and forth between these types of content. So now let's take a look at the Post Planner Facebook page. We'll take a look at Twitter because, as I said, everything that we're talking about here today, everything that I'm sharing with you is exactly what we do. And if you wonder why, it's because we eat the dog food. As I said to you earlier on, we don't share anything, pass anything along to you that we don't already do within the company ourselves. And as you'll see, if you go to our About page, you'll read that we use the tools we build, we follow the advice we give, we demonstrate and prove the value you offer, or we offer rather. And so when you hear me, giving any advice, please know that we're not just recommending what we think might work, what we think might be a good idea, but we're actually recommending what we actually do, and we're getting huge results doing that. In fact, Simply Measured just recently went through and analyzed our growth. They took a look at the last year of our Facebook page, and what they found is that we grew our page 193%. And all of that centered around strategically planning our posts, automating that variety I'm talking about, and then recycling, which I'm going to show you how to do that in our post webinar. So how to recycle your best content. So let's take a look at the Post Planner Facebook page and how that content is going out. So I mentioned that we're testing out right now. We've removed texts, and so we're just going back and forth between photos and articles. And you'll see we post to our Facebook page 12 times a day, and it's a mix. It's a mix of those photos and those link-based posts. So we're going back and forth, just as I shared with you, in how we are distributing that content. So you want to do the exact same thing, except that you definitely want to test that type of content with your audience, get a feel for what type of content is working best, what type of content they're interested in you sharing. And then that way you can use automation in the best possible way, which is to automate the times, automate the variety, and then free yourself up so that, as you are starting to grow your engagement, as you're starting to see the benefits of using a tool like Post Planner, you can get in there and you can interact. You can have a conversation with your community, with your followers. And all of that is made possible because you freed up your time. You freed up your time by planning ahead, planning accordingly, knowing your audience, looking at your insights, looking at your analytics, and really understanding what it is that your audience is looking for and what they need from you. So get in, dive into the plan section here, and start to come up here, create a new plan for every single page, every single one of your profiles. If you want to, this one, we have the same times every day of the week, but you could create a different posting schedule for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And that's something that we have done all along the way as well, is test out different posting schedules, different times, the type of content. So you want to constantly test to see what's working best. Didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. And determine exactly what's working best for your own page. But as with any test, only test one thing at a time, change one thing up at a time, and then give yourself plenty of time. So a 2 to 3 week window to really see how that's doing. Otherwise, you don't have enough of a data set there to be able to determine what's actually working. So most of all, get in, create that first posting time, and then play around with it and have fun. Just have fun with what's working, watching that engagement grow, getting in, building that community, and really getting to know the likes, needs, and wants of your audience. So next up in our webinar series is posting, and I'm going to show you exactly where to find all of this content that you've been adding in and sharing and adding to your plan. I'm going to show you where that goes, how to see everything you've got ready to go out, that's scheduled within your Post Planner app, and then also be able to see anything that you've already shared and then sort based off of all of the analytics. So if you want to see what's gotten the most retweets or what's gotten the most shares, I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that right here within the post section. So make sure, if you haven't already, get yourself signed up for that next webinar. And I also want to make sure you know that if you have additional questions, if you're ever stumped, if you need something that I haven't answered within one of these webinars, or you haven't been able to find in our user guide, all you have to do is scroll right over here to Explore Now, click on that, and that's going to open up our help section with every answer you could ever think to ask. And all you have to do is just type in that question and up will pop that topic. And make sure as well that you're going to the Getting Started tab. This is your first 6 steps within the app that if you haven't completed those, definitely want to do that. It's going to show you just quick and simple ways to get yourself set up within Find, Plan, and Post, and everything you need to know to somewhat set your content and your content discovery on autopilot, because as we know, it's automation and moderation. It always takes you as a person or your team to come in and make it just fabulous and amazing, as I know you can. So know that all of your answers are right there. And then finally, if you're still not finding your answer, you've got this bubble right here, conversation bubble. You just click on that. You can email us directly with any of your questions, and someone within our obsessive customer support will get back with you. So until next time, please make sure you connect with us on Facebook and at Twitter at Post Planner on both locations, and we will continue the conversation over there.